given there, and we'll have more from Matt in Scunthorpe later in the programme. But earlier I spoke to Joshua Wong, who became the face of anti-China protests in Hong Kong last year and will stand trial next week. He was part of the demonstration at the Mall today. I began by asking him how important it was that David Cameron raised the issue of human rights with President Xi.
Being the Prime Minister, David Cameron, he really bear the responsibility to raise this issue because just to take an example, maybe tonight, David Cameron will have a state dinner with President Xi, but at the same time, the activists in mainland, such as Liu Xiaobo, whether they can have a meal or not is uncertain. So while British and the Britain government have enough capacity, why don't they try to raise the human rights issue? Yeah, it's just the value that always raised by Winston Churchill in the past.
What do you say to people who say that human rights is clearly a problem in China, but there are many positive things that you can say about China's record? For example, the hundreds of millions of people who've been lifted out of poverty. What do you say to that argument?
I would like to show the fact is in the past, maybe 50 years ago, we may believe that with the greater influence of China and economic growth, it gave more capacity for the ruling class or the government in China to move forward to achieve better human rights. But the fact is, nowadays, under the rule of President Xi, the fact is the human rights progress moved backward. I think the UK government really have a passive attitude to the umbrella movement last year. While we have already received the political prosecution, I received 3 charges, and next week I need to go to the court and have the maximum penalty to put in the jail for 5 years. And also, I've been blacklisted to enter mainland China. It don't seem that the UK government have a lot of interest to show the importance of fight for human rights, freedom, or democracy.
How are you preparing for your trial next week? How do you feel about that prospect?
I just hope that even maybe next year, I need to go to the jail. Through the process to go into jail or the prison for, I don't know, 3 days, 3 weeks, or 3 months, or even 3 years, I hope this process can raise more general public awareness to continue to fight for the future of Hong Kong, because the general public in Hong Kong really deserve and also really need to get their own right to vote in the election, because what we believe is also the core value, democracy and freedom. Every time while I feel tired and exhausted, I just remind myself, compared to the contribution made by the mainland activists that put into the jail already for more than 5 or 10 years, my contribution in the movement to fight for human rights in Hong Kong and China is really minority. It's really minor compared to their contribution.
Joshua Wong, thank you very much for joining us. Well, the Chinese president's visit stole some of the limelight from today's main business in the Commons, Labour's call for the government